All right. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the preview of the La Liga game tomorrow. Barcelona versus UD Las Palmas, guys. We are back in La Liga. We are back on a home game, guys, and it's gonna be very, very interesting, guys. Because listen, guys, we've had a great week. Up and down week, I would say, because obviously, we did win our last game in the Champions League, taking on Stade Brest and giving them the absolute destruction, which was a 3-0 victory. And listen, at the end of the day, man, I said it, man, it was a 7 out of 10 game, but it doesn't matter because we needed to win because we have not really been in good form, right? We bottled a 2-goal lead in our last game in the league. And then before that, in the international break, we lost. So in the league, we are not exactly coming into the league in good form. But listen, guys, good news is we are at home. We are playing against Las Palmas, which on paper should be, a no-brainer. We should win the game. But listen, guys, I do want to talk about, obviously, there's a few things that I want to get into. I would also like to get into the press conference and everything else. But what I would like to first of all talk about is both of these teams' forms coming into this game, right? Now, as you guys know, Barcelona's form coming into this game, last 5 games, we won our last game against Stade Brest, and we drew against Celta de Vigo, even though we were comfortably on top. I don't know what happened, but listen, we dropped points. It is what it is. We got out of there with a point. And obviously, before the international break, we all remember losing that game against Real Sociedad, which was a very, very surprising loss. But at the end of the day, our last 2 wins have been in the Champions League. So we haven't won really a league game since, ironically, our last home game, which was the derby against Espanyol. So at the end of the day, we definitely are not exactly coming into this game in the best of forms, especially away from home. But good news is we are at home in this game. So I'm expecting victory. I'm expecting us to win this game, absolutely, especially when you really look at Las Palmas' form. They lost their last game against Mallorca at home. And before that, they lost... No, to be fair, yeah, they did win their previous away game was actually against Rayo Vallecano, which they did win. And coming into this game, they're not exactly in the worst of forms. They did lose their last game, but they're not coming into this game in the worst of forms. However, we are the home team. And like I said, we should be winning this game. It should be a no-brainer. It should be a victory and nothing else. And listen, guys, as far as team news is concerned, unfortunately, the bad news is we are not going to have certain players are not going to be in this team. One of them being Marc Casado. He unfortunately got sent off in our last game in the La Liga against Celta de Vigo, so he's out. There's been a lot of talk about Frankie de Jong, but I do believe that he will be back. Inigo Martinez, unfortunately, news has come out that he's had a lot of discomfort after the game against Stade Brest, so he's unlikely to play. But the good news is that Eric Garcia is one of the players who will be back, and this is actually ties me on to the good news, which is yes, Eric Garcia is most likely to replace Inigo Martinez. Another big news is Lamine Yamal. Apparently, I will go into the press conference and what Hansi said. But basically, long story short, we should be seeing Lamine Yamal. I don't know if he's going to start, but he might come up from the bench. And also, another player who we could be seeing also is Ferran Torres. We haven't seen him yet, but we know he's been training with the first team. So at the end of the day, the way I look at it is we just need to make sure we get back to winning ways. Because yes, it was a great win in the Champions League, but like I said, we have been poor and we are 4 points behind Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid do have a game in hand as well. So at the end of the day, we need to capitalize and get back to winning ways, get back to our form again. But yeah, listen, I would like to get into the press conference because yes, today was the press conference. Hansi was asked a few questions in regards to the form that we're in, Frankie de Jong's contract situation, Lamine Yamal, and everything else, and Inigo Martinez's injury. But listen, guys, I would like to go into a few things that he did say. They did ask him about Frankie de Jong, and he basically said Frankie de Jong is coming back from a long-term injury. He's doing well, recovering well. It's been 3 or 4 weeks since his return, and it was before the break, and he's back. Okay, I understand that completely. And yes, he is coming back from a long-term injury. So listen, at the end of the day, that's fine and good. That's fine and dandy. But listen, as far as that whole situation with De Jong is concerned, I just feel like we just need to resolve that very quickly because it's really getting a little bit annoying as far as we're concerned. But he did continue. He said, we're helping Frankie and in midfield. We have very good, in midfield, we have very good players. When we give him minutes, we do. In training, he must show 100% physicality. I agree. If you look at the squad depth in the Barcelona team, our midfield is basically where most of our squad depth is. You understand what I'm saying? So when it really comes down to it, we are very, very full in the midfield. So Frankie de Jong needs to figure things out very, very quickly as far as his contract is concerned and his form is concerned. Yeah, he did go on with other stuff. He said, I'm clear about it. I like the fans to support all the players. The fans are fantastic, by the way. There is a connection between the fans and the players. I think basically what he is basically alluding to is the fact that, we did hear, some of the fans booing De Jong during the game against Stade Brest. There's been a lot of criticism coming out for Jules Koundé and for Gerard Martin after the Celta Vigo game. So, yeah, I think that's basically what he's getting into. I completely understand that. He also went on and said, when players give their all, the fans see it. The perfect scenario for me would be all the players giving the support of the fans. Okay. I mean, I understand that. Listen, when things go well, the fans are going to react positively. When things don't go well, fans are going to look at where the problem is and they're going to try to figure it out. But basically, to just continue with what De Jong basically, he wasn't done with the De Jong case, basically. He said, Frankie de Jong suffered a blow in the match against Belgrade. He needs to show he's 100% fit in training. I want the best team possible tomorrow, and that's how we make decisions. This is why he might not have many minutes as he or we would like. This is the issue now, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, our squad depth in midfield is too ridiculous. So at the end of the day, Frankie de Jong needs to just be honest. If he's not 100% fit, he's not going to be in the team. I think that's why we're seeing that he's not really started a lot of games, because even though he is back, he's not really back. You understand what I'm saying, right? He still needs some time to basically, get back to his form. But yeah, basically, obviously, we all know they asked him about the 125th anniversary, which is today. Obviously, guys, 125th anniversary of Barcelona's inception. Basically, he said, it's an honor to be the Barca manager. I know very well the history of this wonderful club. Today will be the celebration. Today we will be at the celebration, and we'll feel the emotion. Tomorrow we will be able to tell you more. Listen, at the end of the day, obviously today is a special day. Tomorrow we're back playing in the league. And listen, at the end of the day, we saw there's a lot of people in the ceremony today. So listen, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, all of those legends like the Koemans, the Stoichkovs, the Neymars, all of these guys who were there today, we're going to see them tomorrow in the game. They will definitely be in the spectators. And yeah, just to continue, as far as the press conference is concerned, he was asked about, some of the players, and he kind of gave us an insight on everything that is going on. And when they asked him about the Yamal situation, like I said, he basically confirmed that Yamal is fully fit and will be back. So now that we know that he's fully fit, it wouldn't surprise me if he did start, because he didn't play against Stade Brest, he didn't play against Celta de Vigo. So yeah, guys, don't be surprised. And he was also basically asked about a few more questions. So he was with Casado's suspension, he was asked about Gavi as well, and he said, after a very long injury, it's not easy to come back. He's on the right track. There's no doubt that he is 100% fit. He's young and with a lot of potential. Today in training, I was very satisfied with what I saw. I hope he will be happy to know he's going to play. Listen, at the end of the day, what that kind of tells me is I don't think he's going to start, because obviously, I think he made this obvious his first start in the game against Celta de Vigo. And listen, it wasn't bad. He wasn't good either. You know, you can see he's still finding his way back to full fitness and everything else. Now, Hansi Flick was also asked about Ronald Araujo, and you know, there's been a lot of talk about him, but basically this is what he said. He said he's already training, he's getting better every day, and a higher intensity. I wouldn't say a specific date, but he's very close to playing games. Now, there's been a lot of rumors. I think the rumor that's been coming out of Barca is that apparently he could be back by the game against Dortmund in the Champions League. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, basically they were basically asked him because obviously, you know, we're playing tomorrow against Las Palmas, but also we're playing midweek against Mallorca. So he was also asked about that. And he says, I think I speak for the whole team when I say the best thing is to win today. The best win to win today is tomorrow's game, which is very, very important. Basically, he says, we don't care what happens next Tuesday or in Dortmund. What concerns us and occupies us is tomorrow's game. I like that. I actually like that kind of mindset. You know what I mean? What that tells me is, at the end of the day, the manager is very, very insightful. At the end of the day, you have to keep these players locked in. Don't be sitting here talking about, fixture congestion and all of this stuff. Because when you put that in the players' minds, the players are already going to accept defeat. Especially, it can kind of affect them. So with these players, it's always like one game at a time. Just focus on what is happening now, and we'll deal with it with whatever happens later, basically. And he did continue. He said, we want to build on what we saw against Brest, and we want to show this also to the fans. Tomorrow, the best players will play, and those who are the best players will play, and those who are the best, basically. But yeah, basically, that is, long story short, a few things that he did say. As far as, you know, Frankie de Jong, Araujo, the matches, fixture congestions, and everything else. But listen, just to go back very quickly before we do wrap up, right? Obviously, Las Palmas don't really have a lot of injury issues, so we should see them, you know, bring their key players, guys like McKenna, Fabio Silva. It wouldn't surprise me if Oliver McBurney, Adnan Januzaj. They have a lot of good players. However, with us, I still think that, you know, we should have enough to beat them, absolutely. And I expect us to smash them as well. So, yeah, man, I'm expecting a victory. So, if I do go, I do want to do my honest prediction of what I think the lineup is going to be. And my lineup is go obviously in goal. Iñaki Peña will still be in goal. We'll have a defensive partnership of Kobashi and Eric Garcia since he is back in the team. We could see him. Eric Garcia for Inigo Martinez. Jules Koundé at right back. Alejandro Balde, he should be back. So yeah, Alejandro Balde at left back. Midfield, no Casado. So I don't know. This is interesting. Is he gonna play De Jong in the Casado role? Could he do that? Don't be surprised if he does. He could also start Gavi, but I think it's most likely gonna be De Jong. So he'll probably play De Jong and Pedri in the midfield. Daniel obviously in the 10. We're gonna see Rafinha out in the left. Lamine Yamal will start on the right, and obviously up front, Robert Lewandowski. But yeah, guys, listen, at the end of the day, guys, that is my match preview. It's not a long match preview, but what you guys just need to know is, listen, you guys found out what you needed to know, the press conferences, and basically the forms coming into this game. And look, at the end of the day, I expect us to win. I am predicting a solid 3-0 victory against Las Palmas. I want more, but listen, at the end of the day, solid 3-0. You can never complain too much about that, guys. So listen, guys, this has been the match preview of the Barcelona versus UD Las Palmas match preview, guys. Unfortunately, guys, the bad news is I don't think I will be able to do the match watch along, unfortunately, because I will be at work. So that's why you guys don't be surprised. You might not see the match watch along against Las Palmas. But good news is there will be a match reaction after the game. So guys, make sure you guys keep it locked in here. You will be getting a match reaction, and make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalonia. And once again, guys, happy 125th year anniversary to this great club. Peace, you guys.